In the world of esports and competitive shooters, few have had as much success and impact worldwide as Valorant. Now joining us tonight to talk about what's next for the global phenomenon in the Southeast Asian region is Riot Games Country Director, Joel Guzman. Joel, welcome to the game. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
All right, so we were talking a bit off the air a while ago, and I was surprised personally to find out that the Riot Games opened here in Southeast Asia, or at least having an office here in Southeast Asia, just a year ago. So it's a year-old game, but that just shows you that there's a lot of anticipated growth in the region, is there?
Yes. So what I can say, globally, there are around 14 million monthly active players for Valorant, and Philippines is actually one of the most countries up there in the rankings, so has the most number of active players. From an esports viewership alone, last year, Champions 2022 for Valorant had around 1.5 million concurrent viewers, which is actually 34% over to our 2021 figure.
Yeah. Now, Pao mentioned that it was only just about a year ago when there was a Southeast Asian group for Riot Games, but actually it was just 3 years ago when you launched Valorant. And now, how is it like having an all-Filipino team in Team Secret and, competing at the highest level out there?
Filipino representation in our Asia-Pacific League is a very, very monumental landmark for the Filipino players here, Filipino esports players in the community. We have Team Secret waving our Filipino flag, right? Yes. They just came from a win last weekend versus one of the most biggest players or teams in Thailand, Talon Esports. And in Sao Paulo, during lock-in, they actually beat one of the most famous esports organizations in Europe, Team Liquid.
Yeah. They beat Team Liquid. Sabi nga nila, solid sila.
Solid sila.
Kinda sabi nila. But then you look at Team Secret right now and their popularity, and not only that, the way that they're shocking bigger competition. Nakakagulat ba yan in terms of, I guess, that we're seeing this early on, like, again, 3-year-old game, this early on, seeing a Filipino team actually perform at such a high level?
Super. I think it all boils down to their high-octane play, their energy. What European teams are used to is more of calm, cool, collected approach. And they always get surprised when facing a team like Team Secret.
And of course, with Team Secret, they will be continuing their run at the VCT Pacific. They will face Paper Rex on April 2, so that's going to be really fun. But then, I have something here for Z as well. Kasi, Z doesn't play, all right? That's what I know. Z doesn't play.
I'm just learning.
But it's such a great thing to know that there's actually a strong female base of players here in the Philippines. Maybe some people might be surprised about that. I was personally surprised about it when I saw some of the statistics as well.
Yeah. So actually, the player base for Valorant, almost half of the player base are actually female, which is actually a good progressive move towards having female representation in gaming and esports. And we're happy to see that more and more women are actually playing esport and being part of the game.
So we've talked about representation in the women and among Filipinos. How do you think Riot can continue expanding its, players and
and the growth here in the country?
Yeah. One of our initiatives is the VCT Game Changers, which is a female league, right? And while we do recognize that there's still a lot of barriers and challenges when it comes to women representation in gaming and esports, that avenue or that pillar hopefully will be able to break down all these barriers and provide representation. At Riot Games, we believe that gaming is for everyone regardless of gender.
Yeah, it's interesting because not a lot of people, I guess, would try and push that type of diversity, but then you mentioned that it's important there for Riot. Can you explain just a bit why you feel that that's the case?
Because at the end of the day, gamers is just, I'm a gamer myself, when you look at a gamer standpoint, it doesn't, it doesn't have to be a man or a woman. At the end of the day, when you're really interested in the game, you play for it, you play it, and yeah.
Okay, so when you saw all of the growth, we actually had an event recently to launch a Team Secrets, or at least send them off to the VCT. And how was the reception? How was the event like? I unfortunately was not able to be part of it, but then when you have an event like that, just can you give us an idea of how the community reacted?
For starters, we've reached over 3 million people, and that's people from the community, influencers, media, actually sharing the news of the VCT Pacific League launch. So that's one. We've received a lot of traction and amazing support for Team Secret, again, they just beat Talent Esports last weekend, and just the community is just raving for and looking forward to their success in the league.
The growth and the success have been really tremendous and huge among the Filipino community. And do you think we will see some Valorant action in the, say, Southeast Asian Games in the future? The SEA Games will be happening soon.
Yes.
And how do you think it will be received and will be explored?
Yes, I have news for that. So we will be represented by a Filipino team. So the Oasis Gaming will be in SEA Games representing us for Valorant. And I'd also like to add that we do have a local league called Valorant Challengers.
Yeah.
And this is sort of like the breeding ground for the next level of talent or the next superstars of esports. I always talk about having a dream of getting the next Faker for Valorant. And my dream is for it to happen, to come from the Philippines.
Okay, why not? Why not?
Soon.
And of course, yeah, for sure. And we still have a bit of time here, so I want to go into more, I guess, more internal questions here with regards to Valorant, because a lot of people are wondering how. Okay, during the lockdown, during the pandemic, a lot of people turned into gaming. But then Valorant has kept on growing even past the pandemic. Other games have kind of slowed down a bit. But then the growth here for Valorant has been something else. Is there any reason why you feel that that's the case for all genders, for all ages throughout the region?
I think one, it all boils down to strong sense of community. Valorant has one of the most positive communities out there in gaming. Number two, Riot Games, from establishing Riot Philippines last year, we've always created hyper-local experiences that would resonate with Filipinos. And that's always our mission, so that we could be closer to the Filipino gamers, so that everything that we do, be it an offline event or an online event, we always resonate with the Filipino gamers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. We're friendly, okay? So do not say things on the comms that are not friendly to other people. Joel, maraming salamat. We really appreciate
Thank
your
you so
time
much.
and sharing everything about Valorant. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Joel.